Welcome to Seeker of Light. Today, we share a story called The Coffee That Heals. Mark felt like he was drowning in the relentless tide of work. The computer screen before him was a soulless window, looking out onto a world of screaming deadlines, back-to-back stressful meetings, and the invisible weight of countless expectations pressing down on his shoulders. Each morning he awoke, a heavy stone seemed to settle in his chest. He had forgotten the taste of his breakfast, forgotten the very color of the sky. A smile, for him, had become an unattainable luxury. One morning, an unexpected urgent project required him to be at the office earlier than usual, and fatefully, his familiar route was completely gridlocked. Mark decided to turn down a narrow, unfamiliar alley, hoping to find a way through. And then, he stopped. Tucked away modestly at the end of the alley was a small coffee shop, a simple wooden sign engraved with two words, "The Quiet Sip." A flicker of curiosity mixed with his profound weariness guided his feet inside. The space within the cafe was remarkably calm, filled only with the soft, melodious strains of gentle music and the rich, inviting aroma of freshly roasted coffee beans. Warm golden light emanated from charming little lamps, and a few lush green plants rested neatly on the windowsills. Mark chose a small corner table and ordered a traditional Vietnamese drip coffee. When the small aluminum filter was placed on his table, Mark didn't rush. He silently watched the first drops of coffee begin their journey, falling slowly, thickly, as if carrying the entire story of the bean, of Mother Earth, of nurturing fire. That steady, rhythmic dripping sound was like a melody utterly different from the chaotic hustle and bustle just outside the door. He took a very deep breath, allowing the pure aroma of the coffee to permeate his senses, awakening parts of him that felt like they had been dormant for a very long time. He took a small sip. A strong, bold bitterness spread throughout his mouth, then slowly, gently gave way to a subtle, sweet aftertaste that lingered pleasantly at the back of his throat. It wasn't merely coffee, it was a moment, whole and profound. In the almost absolute stillness of the cafe, surrounded by the intoxicating aroma and that bittersweet taste, something suddenly illuminated Mark's mind. He realized, after all this time, that he had been running too fast, racing to keep pace with life to the point where he had left his true self somewhere far behind. He had been so engrossed in chasing fleeting achievements, distant goals, that he had forgotten that happiness, sometimes, is astonishingly simple, just to be able to sit quietly, leisurely, savoring a cup of coffee, listening to the rhythm of his own heart and the sound of his own breath. The coffee drops continued to fall, steadily, patiently, much like the flow of time itself, quietly passing by, without any need for hurry, without any need for rush. He gazed out the window and saw a single yellow leaf gently twirl and then land softly on the ground. For the first time in so many months, he truly saw it, felt the fragile beauty of that fleeting moment. From that day forward, the Quiet Sip coffee shop became Mark's familiar morning sanctuary, no longer a random coincidence, but a conscious, deliberate choice. Just 15 short minutes each day, with a coffee cup in hand and enveloped by tranquility, was enough to recharge him with fresh energy, to help him rediscover the balance he had lost before stepping back into the daily grind. Mark learned to carry that sense of quiet sip, that serenity, into his work and into his life as well. He no longer felt deadlines as burdens, but rather saw them as challenges to be overcome. He began to smile more often at his colleagues, at life, and at himself. The bitter drops of coffee each morning did more than just awaken him. They gently healed the little scratches on his soul. It was like a soft reminder that amidst the busy, rushing currents of life, there is always a peaceful haven for the heart to rest, for the soul to be soothed and comforted. And sometimes the most miraculous healing begins with the simplest, most unassuming of things. Thank you for joining Seeker of Light on this journey. We look forward to sharing more moments of light and inspiration with you soon.